want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Pain for their disease. Rage is like a weed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are rocking and we are rolling right now. As you can see, I'm not in my usual location because we are live right now from the Menon Arena in Morristown, New Jersey. And it is indeed Saturday, and you know what that means. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't already know, please allow me to reintroduce myself. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back right here to the greatest show on earth, streaming live across 4 different platforms, across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different accounts. We are live on Twitch, we are live on Facebook, we are live on Twitter, and we are live on YouTube right now. Now, if you don't know some of the names that they call me, well, they call me Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday. That is right, Saturday, May 6th. Live from the Menon Arena during 80s WrestleCon. It is packed over here. I'm actually currently sitting right in front of a line for Bret Hart. Bret Hart has been here since 11 a.m. The guy has been working himself to the bone, signing autographs, taking pictures, and we are here live. We are going to get set for a great show. We got a lot of news and rumors to talk about, and we got a couple of special guests, but I ain't telling you who. The surprises will keep on coming as the show goes along. But I thank you guys for coming on in, spending your Saturday afternoons with me. We got this beautifully crafted DJ Storm shirt in the background right here. We got plenty, and I mean plenty, of news to talk about. We're going to go over the weekly shows a bit as well. And when the special guests come on, we're going to have some fun, talk to them. But before we get into everything we got to get into there, as per usual, be sure to follow me on social media at HistoryMakerDJS. That is at HistoryMakerDJS, both on Twitter and Instagram. You can add me on Facebook as well. For collaborations and business inquiries, please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, I see Mitch Kovsky's in the chat, reminding everyone that I am the absolute best in the business. There ain't nobody better, because if you ain't talking DJ Storms, then yeah, I don't want to talk, all right? Okay, now, be sure, if you're watching on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube, got to make sure that you hit the like button and share the stream out on all platforms, social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever social media platforms that you may be using, because it is extremely vital that everyone gets in this chat, everyone's going to have a good time, and everyone gets a little dose of DJ Storms in their life, because with DJ Storms, people have better lives. DJ Storms makes your life better. Now then, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on the Hardcore Sports YouTube channel or my YouTube channel, be sure that you hit the subscribe button. We are growing at a very rapid pace. We are over 2,100 subs on my YouTube channel, and we are over 550 subs on the Hardcore Sports YouTube channel. Because if you are not affiliated with Hardcore Sports, we are the fastest rising sports analytical brand on YouTube. We cover everything. We cover football, we cover baseball, we cover basketball, we cover hockey, we cover UFC, we cover WWE, we cover AEW, we cover everything about everything that it has to pertain with sports. You can bet that Hardcore Sports is going to be covering it because we are just that damn good. So please go show Hardcore Sports some love, subscribe to them, and of course, when you subscribe, whether it be to my channel or the Hardcore Sports channel, you better hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, oh, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube. You know why? Because it's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn shin strap combination right here. This beautiful mustache. You know what? We got to break it out right here. We got to break this out right here. We got this beautifully crafted ace comb. This is Earl Cole's favorite part of the show, so we're going to light it up right here from 80s WrestleCon with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of Because like Campbell's soup, oh, I am just so good. You already know the drill. Everybody wants a piece of the Stormsmeister. Now then, why don't we dive straight into the news, rumors, and reports that we got going on over here? We may as well start off with the big one here. And as you could see in the thumbnail and in the title of the stream, AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation has indeed been canceled. Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men Wrestling Podcast provided us an update on the status of Dark and Elevation. He actually tweeted out on Wednesday, and I quote, AEW Dark and Dark Elevation have ended for the time being. This, in part, has to do with AEW signing a new deal for AEW Collision to air on Saturdays. Part of the new deal is that AEW wrestling content will exclusively air on Warner Brothers Discovery. As of today, this does not include Ring of Honor. And I quote, Now, when it comes to Dark and Dark Elevation, I'm not going to lie. When it first started, it was new, it was fresh. It had storylines pertaining to the full-time talent on AEW television, and there was a lot to go into it. I was very happy that AEW was dabbling in giving us more content, especially on YouTube, and considering they only had 2 hours of Dynamite, they had very little to work with. Then in came Rampage, and then they brought along Dark Elevation, and through the pandemic, Dark and Dark Elevation became very important because it gave the independent talent time to work. It gave them a place to work, it gave them places for exposure, and it helped out the wrestling industry as a whole. And you know what? I respect Tony Khan for that. But at the end of the day, after the pandemic ended, it just became just a glorified squash fest. There was just 10, 15, 20 matches at times, and they were nothing but squash matches. There was a full-time talent versus an enhancement talent, and all these matches went somewhere, between 2 to 4 minutes? That's not exactly something that I'm going to invest my time in long-term. Matter of fact, Tony Khan should have really used Dark and Dark Elevation to help aid the company in giving us long-term stories, in giving us some showcase matches for the talent that don't normally get showcased on Dynamite and Rampage, and he should have spaced things out, given us 4 to 5 quality matches across an hour for Dark and Dark Elevation, and made it feel important. Should have given us serious long-term, focused storylines. That way, more and more people would actually turn in, and it would give Warner Brothers Discovery even more of a reason to give AEW an extension on their deal and some more television time. Now that we got Collision and Tony Khan has got that television time, what use is there for Dark and Dark Elevation? What use is there? They did their job, and now that Tony Khan has the proper amount of television time, he's got 5 hours of television time, and the roster's rapidly growing with Ring of Honor on Thursdays, Collision on Saturdays, Rampage, and Dynamite. Now he has more than enough television time to get everyone a showcase and to give everyone the proper opportunities that he needs to give them. So canceling Dark and Dark Elevation right now, this is probably the best move that they could have made, because at the end of the day, what were they really doing? It was just an hour and a half of nothing but squash matches, and There was no substance. There was no story. There was no true emotion or investment. And on top of that, the crowd, they were just completely dead. They recorded this an hour and a half before the show actually went on the air at 8 p.m. on TNT or TBS. Now that it's gone, I'm sure that none of the individuals that really knew about Dark and Dark Elevation, none of the AEW hardcores are really going to miss this. They're not. And on top of that, it is also going to take a lot off of Tony Khan's plate. It is going to give Tony Khan some extra time to focus more on Dynamite, on Rampage, on Collision, and focus on giving us solid, intriguing, serious, long-term stories that's going to help other talent get over, that's going to help the younger generation thrive. Canceling Dark and Dark Elevation, probably the best decision that they could have done. Moving on right here, we actually got a report on post-draft plans on the Monday Night Raw brand. I see Hoolagrim's in the chat. Shout out to Hoolagrim. Hoolagrim is awesome. Raphael Chasen, he's in the chat. He is fantastic. Raphael, he actually starred on my show, The Rundown, for WWE Backlash 2023. That was this past Thursday. If you guys missed it, go check it out. Backlash is also tonight, so we got plenty of good material coming on there. Let me just take a sip of my water before we get into these post-draft plans for WWE Raw. So I got a report from the WRKD Wrestling Twitter account. Now, if you don't know, the WRKD Wrestling Twitter account has been breaking a hefty amount of stories as of lately. They've been breaking a hefty amount of stories as of lately, and they recently broke a plan that could very well come into reality in the coming months on WWE TV, specifically on Monday Night Raw. The tweet read, and I quote, "There are preliminary plans to reunite NXT's faction The Way in the future on the Raw brand," end quote. Now, I'm not really sure how they're going to do that without Austin Theory, because at the end of the day, Austin Theory, he's a SmackDown superstar, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really look like Austin Theory really needs The Way. It seems as though The Way is strictly going to be for Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Dexter Lumis, and Indy Hartwell. And to be quite honest with you, it's probably going to be a disservice to Johnny Gargano, because realistically, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae at that, and Dexter Lumis too, those three can stand on their own 2 feet. But Indy Hartwell never really spoke to me as, yeah, she's ready for the main roster. She got called up in the draft. That was quite baffling to me. It was quite baffling, and I didn't really understand that call-up whatsoever, especially considering she just won the NXT Women's Championship. So why exactly would you call up Indy Hartwell if she had just won the NXT Women's Championship? Really doesn't make any sense. But regardless, they called her up. They're doing a tournament now on NXT. They're going to crown a new NXT Women's Champion at NXT Battleground on May 28th. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, Indy Hartwell will indeed benefit the most from this Way reunion. However, what does that mean for Johnny Gargano? Are Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis going to be a tag team? I don't know. It could be intriguing, but to be quite honest with you, I would much rather see Johnny Gargano in the singles division. He should be fighting guys like Gunther and Shinsuke Nakamura, Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Damian Priest. Those are the guys that Johnny Gargano should be going one-on-one with. Now, could a tag team with Dexter Lumis be entertaining? Sure, it could be entertaining. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on there. We're going to move on here. We got ourselves a report regarding Vince McMahon. A report regarding Vince McMahon from WrestleVotes. Per WrestleVotes, via Give Me Sport, Vince McMahon has pitched several ideas for Roman Reigns' next challenger for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, which is taking place on May 27th at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. Oh, and by the way, Hoolagrim, where am I live from? Hoolagrim, I am live from the Menon Arena in Morristown, New Jersey. We are live from 80s WrestleCon. We got a big show going down today. It is big, I'm telling you. There's at least 300 people packed in here. Huge line for Bret Hart. I got some special guests coming on. Trust me, it's gonna be a fun show. You picked a good day to join Hologram. You did. Anyway, so getting back to my report about Vince McMahon, a few ideas were thrown around with Vince McMahon, and he pitched a couple of opponents for Roman Reigns to fight at Night of Champions. Apparently, a few of his ideas were quote unquote scoffed at, as in, that doesn't make any sense. Now, to be quite honest with you, I'm not really sure why anyone is shocked about this, because if it's Vince McMahon, it doesn't make any fucking sense. How is it supposed to make sense? Vince McMahon, he's like what the Joker said from The Dark Knight. Well, what's this we got over here? Look at this right here, ladies and gentlemen, right here. How you doing, my friend?
Oh my gosh,
Dave LaGreca. How you doing, man? We are live from 80s WrestleCon right now.
how are you?
Live from 80s WrestleCon right now. This is the one and only Dave LaGreca, host of Busted Open Radio. Dave LaGreca, how you doing today?
I am ecstatic. This has been so much fun. This is great. This is like Christmas morning for me. I love it.
I'm telling you, man, this is probably the most fun I've ever had as a professional wrestling fan. But we got to get down to the nitty gritty right here. I got to ask you some questions. We got a big main event tonight. It is your man, Rick Recon. All this time, it has led to this. Everything has led to this. All the mentoring, all the preparation. Rick Recon in the main event of the Rock and Wrestling Show against Bull James. How is he prepared for this?
Well, let me tell you something. I saw Bull James earlier today. I was doing my show Busted Open Live with Danny Morrison, and he came up here. He interrupted the interview that we were doing. He's disrespectful to me. He's disrespectful to Rick Recon. He's disrespectful to this business. And Rick Recon's going to take him out. Rick Recon is going to capture that world championship. He's going to be representing ISPW. When you think of ISPW, you're going to think of Rick Recon. They're one now. They're one and the same. When ISPW puts out T-shirts, puts out anything, it's going to be a picture of Rick Recon. That Rick Recon is the man, and that's going to be proven tonight against Bull Dempsey. Now, I'm handcuffed with Maven tonight. Maven and I are going to be handcuffed together. I don't care. That, to me, that's great, because Maven, as you've noticed, gets involved. He won't be able to get involved tonight because I'll be handcuffed to him. So, you know what? There's no way that Bull Dempsey by himself can beat Rick Recon. I'm going to be that distraction to Maven that's going to keep Maven out of the ring, and it's going to be one-on-one, fair and square. Rick Recon, no problem, taking out Bull Dempsey tonight at ISPW right here in Morristown, New Jersey.
I'm telling you, I am very much looking forward to that match, but I actually want to switch gears now. I was just recently talking about who Roman Reigns' next challenger will be for the Undisputed Universal Championship at Night of Champions. Do you have any idea?
I really don't. I honestly, I couldn't answer that question, because to me now, when you look at Roman Reigns and you look at what he's been able to accomplish, I still feel like Cody Rhodes got screwed at WrestleMania 39. Cody Rhodes should be the face of the WWE. Cody Rhodes should be the WWE Undisputed Universal World Champion. It should be Cody Rhodes. So I don't know what's going to happen at Night of Champions. It doesn't matter to me, because I feel like this time next year, and it may take to WrestleMania, this time next year, Cody Rhodes is going to be your WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. And it's not going to be that World Championship. He is going to be the top guy in the WWE.
Well, speaking of
Two
Cody
names
Rhodes,
that you have to remember: Cody Rhodes in the WWE, Rick Recon when it comes to ISPW. That's that. That's it. That's the only two names that you need to worry about. And I hope that anybody who's watching this now that's not here, they need to get their ass in the car, drive to Morristown, New Jersey, and watch this match tonight, because history is going to be made in Morristown.
plenty of good stuff, but thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, DJ Storm. Thank you for what you do for this business. Thank you for coming out here today. You didn't have to. I probably didn't even want to, but you came here and you're killing it. Awesome job today, and thank you for having me on.
Thank you very much. Take a wristband, man.
I'm taking a wristband. I'm going to wear this wristband. It's going to be good luck.
It'll be good luck. Rick Recon's going to be the new world champion at the end of the night.
ISPW World Heavyweight Champion. I'm going to wear this. Thank you.
About time he gets the respect that he deserves.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. LaGreca.
You got a shirt for me?
Oh yeah, I do actually.
I'm taking this shirt.
Hey, we got shirts over here. We got wristbands. We got everything. Dave LaGreca, everybody. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. LaGreca.
Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. We got plenty more surprises to come on here on the channel here at 80s WrestleCon. But getting back to what I was saying regarding Vince McMahon being scoffed at, and Vince McMahon pretty much being laughed at by his own creative team and pretty much being bashed for the fact that his ideas don't make any sense. That is nothing surprising whatsoever. Nothing surprising whatsoever, because at the end of the day, if it's anything pertaining for Vince McMahon, it's not going to make sense. And to be quite honest with you, I have an idea of who Vince McMahon is probably going to pitch for Roman Reigns' opponent at Night of Champions. And quite frankly, I don't like it. I don't like it whatsoever. It's going to be Omos. It's going to be Omos. And to be quite honest with you, if that is the best that you have for Roman Reigns as 1,000 days as world champion, I mean, you may as well not even have Roman Reigns defend the fucking title at Night of Champions. It's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. But to be quite honest with you, what Dave LaGreca just did probably be more exciting than whatever we see at Night of Champions. Regardless, we're going to move on here. I have some not so fortunate news. Well, fortunate news for said individual, not so fortunate news for the wrestling fans. During Mailbag Monday on ad-free shows, WWE referee Mike Chioda, who was a referee of WWE for 25 years, he reported that Shane McMahon has intentions of returning to the ring, as he believes that the career of Shane O'Mac will not end on a sour note. Now, I truthfully hope Shane O'Mac makes a quick recovery. I really do. But at the end of the day, we do not need Shane O'Mac as a full-time in-ring competitor. We do not need Shane O'Mac back in the ring. And to be quite honest with you, with what WWE has done, with the brand split, the rosters they've assembled, and the NXT talent that they called up, it would honestly be counterproductive and, quite frankly, just flat out ridiculous if they were to bring Shane O'Mac back in any capacity. The only capacity that Shane O'Mac would really fit in when it comes to current day WWE programming would probably be if they brought him back as a general manager. Right now, there are no authority figures on either Raw or SmackDown. There's none. There's absolutely none. So if they want to make Adam Pearce the sole authority director of Monday Night Raw, and they want to make Shane O'Mac the sole authority director of Friday Night SmackDown, you know what? I don't have an issue with that. As long as Shane O'Mac is not in a ring. I mean, after the last time that we saw him, he tore his fucking quad at WrestleMania wrestling The Miz when The Miz was wrestling in a suit. I think it's safe to say that Shane O'Mac wrestling in the ring is a no-no. Big no. I got an interesting report from Fightful. Fightful Select actually reported that at one point, WWE did originally plan on splitting the WWE and the Universal titles back into two again to ensure the company had two world championships. Internal documents revealed at one point WWE had penciled in Drew McIntyre or Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. That was actually going around as a rumor for WrestleMania 39, but it was ultimately scrapped because The Rock could not face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39, and Cody Rhodes ultimately ended up winning the Royal Rumble, and he went on to fight none other than Roman Reigns in a losing effort. Roman Reigns, after not being advertised, is also currently being promoted for the WWE Money in the Bank show on July 1st in the O2 Arena in London. Drew McIntyre is not being advertised after he was advertised before. Now, let's start off with the World Championships. Let's start off with the World titles. So, when it comes to the World Championships, I get WWE's motto to split up the World Championships to potentially give out some more opportunities to other people that don't have that, because Roman Reigns right now, he is holding the world titles hostage. But at the end of the day, does WWE really need the brand split? The answer is no. The brand split right now, it's extremely counterproductive. It's, quite frankly, unnecessary, and they're breaking their own rules automatically with this ridiculous stipulation to crown a new world champion. We got superstars from SmackDown fighting for a world championship on Monday Night Raw. Oh, look at this. We got more surprises right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here, he is a legend in this business of 32 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the one and only Crowbar. How you doing today, sir?
How you doing, dude?
I am doing fantastic. We got plenty of good stuff going down here at 80s WrestleCon, but you actually have a big match going down today. You are facing off against the son of the British Bulldog. What are your thoughts going into this match?
Looking very forward to it. I mean, I still keep up on a lot of modern wrestling. Like when I watch it as a fan, I enjoy watching old school stuff. But being that I'm still out here, it's prudent to be proficient in what all the newer guys and then all the upcoming guys are doing. So I've done a deep dive into all the Bulldogs' work this week, and I've watched them before. I'm looking very forward to working with them and hopefully tearing the house down here at the Menon Arena in downtown Morristown.
Speaking of the younger generation, now you are a veteran of coming up on 32 years, and if I was to describe you now, you are indeed the wrestler that other wrestlers pay to watch because you are just that damn good. Pushing 50, you are easily better now than you were back then. But my question for you is, what advice would you give to the upcoming wrestlers in this business today?
I've had the same advice for upcoming wrestlers for the past, I don't know. They've probably been asking my advice for over 20 years, and it's pro wrestling is a wonderful thing. I love pro wrestling. There's nobody out there that loves pro wrestling more than me, and that's my honest belief. But it's not the most secure profession. Pro wrestling, becoming a singer, becoming an actor, anything like that. So I always advise the younger generation to make sure you have something else to fall back on. It's empowered me in later in life that, and I'm not being snarky at all, I do not depend on this to feed myself, to feed my family. I'm here because I choose to be here because I genuinely enjoy what I'm doing. And that's because I have a second career. I pursued that career long back before there was any kind of online courses, and it was a really difficult pursuit. It can be done either trade school or college or the family business or whatever it may be. If you have another secure form of income, you will always, it buys you time to pursue this dream. It buys you time to take a few months off, take a few years off if need be. It empowers you to play the long game.
Well, that right there, that's probably the smartest thing that anyone could do. You always got to have a backup plan. But back to where we're actually going to stick with the younger generation right now, because in ISPW right now, I would say that 2023, it's almost half over, and I would say it's been defined by perhaps the greatest rivalry in ISPW that I've seen personally of the modern era. I'm talking about you and the man that's fighting for the world championship tonight, Rick Recon. You guys went to war not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. Yeah, 2 of them were inside of a steel cage. Now, I want to get your thoughts. What are your thoughts on Rick Recon, and what are your thoughts on the series of matches that you had with him?
Rick Recon was part of ISPW for a while. When I was doing other matches, but I always watched his stuff. I always watched his matches. There's a lot of different aspects of professional wrestling. And prior to even watching a match of Rick Recon's, you look at Rick Recon, his look, his gear, he looks like a star. He looks like a TV wrestling star. There's a lot of guys out there on the independents that are fantastic in-ring performers. There are people out there that look like TV stars. There are people that have both that look and also the in-ring the capacity to be a star. He has both.
Yes. Now, my last question before we get out of here, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. Plain and simple, what can we expect from Crowbar in the near future?
Everybody asks this. I have no idea. I have no idea really what I'm doing right now. Like I said, I have a business, work, got a wonderful wife, 2 great kids. Life is good. I choose to be here because I curse. I fucking love pro wrestling. And as long as it's still fun, as long as I'm still having a good time, as long as there's good opponents to have great matches with, which right now on the independent circuit, it looks like there's no shortage of great performers, great workers. Whatever this is I'm doing, I have no idea, but I'm having a damn good time doing it. How long it lasts, I don't know. We'll see.
32 years, still running strong. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Crowbar, bona fide Hall of Famer. Thank you very much for the time. Good luck in your match. Oh, whoa. Hold on a minute. Are we serious right here? Ladies and gentlemen, this right here, this is record, not one. Yes, absolutely. Take one, my friend. This right here, not one, not two, not three.
On like camera as like a,
I don't think so.
Not in a long time.
I don't think so.
I haven't wrestled since 2011. I haven't wrestled since 2011.
This is like a first here. You realize that, right? You're getting like a first.
I can't get these damn bracelets open. That's the problem.
But ladies and gentlemen, once again, Crowbar, thank you very much, man. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll get one open for you. Don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, this man, not one time, not two times, not three, not four, but 5-time, giving Booker T a run for his money. 5-time record, 5-time ISPW World Heavyweight Champion and bona fide ISPW Hall of Famer. And he got it. There you go. That's what it took. It took me motivating you.
I'm a posse member.
You are damn right. You are a DJ Storm's posse member right down to the very last letter.
Boom.
This is the one and only Ace Darling. Ace Darling, this is ISPW Rock and Wrestling Weekend. During 80s WrestleCon number 4, how you feeling today?
Exhausted. It's been crazy today. It's been great though. I go run all over for Tommy and try and make everything run smoothly, but it's an exhausting event. But it's so much fun. It's great just to I get such a kick out of listening to just old stories and just people talking about wrestling and their experiences and seeing their faces when they see somebody they grew up idolizing. Because I'm still a fan. So when I see Bret Hart or if I see Demolition or Powers of Pain, there's still a kid in me saying, wow, this is Demolition, so it's awesome. I love these events.
It's crazy to even think about, really, and it's a super exciting time. I would say right now it's probably the best time to be a professional wrestling fan. But I actually want to talk about your history with ISPW. What does ISPW mean to you, being that you were a 5-time world champion? You're now an ISPW Hall of Famer, and Tommy Fierro, shout out to him. He has taken ISPW to new heights, especially with 80s WrestleCon.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ISPW is the promotion to be in New Jersey, and it was 20-something years ago. You go to Wildwood, you go all over the place. Tommy runs a quality show. He stopped running for a while. I'm glad he's back. It's what he's meant to do. He's got a great crew now. The wrestling business is in some good hands, and I try and support it as much as I can.
Now, being that you are a veteran of the business and you've pretty much done it all when it comes to ISPW, what advice would you give to any new and up-and-coming professional wrestlers looking to make a name for themselves in this business?
Work hard, be nice. Be nice. That's half the battle right there. Be respectful. Ask people to watch your matches, and take care of your body because you only get one.
Oh God, that last one could not be any more truer. Now, I want to talk to you about the main event tonight. Probably the most pivotal match up of ISPW's history of the modern era. It is world champion Bull James taking on Rick Recon, and there will be a special guest referee, and that man is you. Now, you have history with both Crowbar and Rick Recon. What are your thoughts going into this match?
Crowbar, he's not in the match.
Oh, excuse me, Bull James and Rick Recon. I apologize. I keep on thinking because we just saw Crowbar. He just completely took over the show. He is timeless.
Great.
But you have history with both men. What are your thoughts going into this match?
My thoughts are, I didn't want to be a ref tonight. I did it because I felt it was the right thing to do when Earl Hebner stepped out. So I'm here. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do a good job. And there's going to be a winner. There's going to be a loser. That's all I can say, man. Rick Recon and I had a past. I've known Bull James for forever. And you know what? There's no animosity towards either one tonight. Let the best man win.
Now, before I let you get out of here, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, I actually have to ask. Now, you've been involved in a lot of great matches throughout the course of your career. I wanted to know, I know it may be hard for you, but you personally what do you feel has been your best match ever?
It's funny. I mentioned it earlier today when I saw Marty Jannetty that one of my favorite matches ever was for the ISPW Championship. I defended it against Marty Jannetty, and it was a 20-minute barn burner. And yeah, I'd put that match up against any of my matches because it was a lot of fun. And Marty was literally one of the 5 guys I broke in that I wanted to wrestle. He was on that list, and I got to wrestle him, so it was pretty damn cool.
Shout out to Marty Jannetty. He made an appearance as well. He's fantastic in his own right. But, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Ace Darling, thank you very much for your time.
You got anybody watching? If you want to hear good wrestling interviews, you can check out my YouTube show, Wrestling Then and Now. Wrestling Then and Now. I've had Demolition Axe, Smash, Jim Brunzell, Matt Stryker. Oh my gosh, the list. I mean, I literally have had 80 guys on. I would look around here tonight. I've had Jameson. I've had a lot of guys from today and a lot of guys I haven't posted yet. Tons of content. Please check it out.
He is fantastic. Ace Darling.
Are you subscribed?
Ah, man, I got to take a look on it. Send it to me.
Take your phone out.
See, we got to be here. No, I'll do it right now. Where is it? Hold on a minute.
Wrestling, then THEN, and now.
Let me take a look at this. Let me go to my YouTube channel, Wrestling THEN, and now. Let me take a look at this, and it looks like that's it right there, right?
Yes, sir.
Subscribed, and notifications are turned on. And before we get out of here, yeah, notifications turned on.
And I'm a member of the posse.
There you go. DJ Storm's posse for life, ladies and gentlemen. He's Ace Darling. Now then. Now let me fix the camera over here. We got everything's falling apart over here. Fantastic. You never know who's gonna show up. Everyone's coming on the DJ Storms channel because I'm just that damn good. But shout out to Lisa. Shout out to Sarah Hapka. Shout out to Dylan. You guys are all fantastic. Now then, why don't we get straight into the thoughts regarding the world titles being split up. World titles being split up, and a report was going around. And to be quite honest with you, them splitting the world titles up, I didn't get a chance to say this before I got some guests, but when it comes to them splitting the world championships up, they don't really need a brand split. They really don't. The brand split is entirely unnecessary. It's not needed. But here's what I will say. When it comes to the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, if you did not intend on ending the brand split with Roman Reigns winning both championships in the main event of Night 2 at WrestleMania 38, why exactly did you put both championships on him? Incredibly counterproductive and incredibly fucking stupid at that. Incredibly fucking stupid. So I really like to hope that with the introduction of this new world championship, they're going to do the right thing and they are going to make it feel important. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the world championship, it's very, very hard to make the world championship feel important when Roman Reigns has essentially taken the undisputed WWE Universal Championship and made it the championship in the industry. Really. But back to what I was saying regarding Roman Reigns. He's now being advertised for Money in the Bank. You know what? I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy about Roman Reigns being advertised for Money in the Bank because, to be quite honest with you, him not being advertised for Money in the Bank, it kind of made Money in the Bank feel less than. And with Roman Reigns on Money in the Bank, and he's definitely going to be at SummerSlam as well, now we're in a much better scenario. Roman Reigns is going to be on television a lot more throughout the summer, and we probably won't see him. We probably won't see him in the fall. All too often. We probably won't see him until Survivor Series at that rate. So you know what? Him competing at Night of Champions, Money in the Bank, and SummerSlam, good. I'm happy about that. That's what a champion should do. He should be competing full-time at these pay-per-views. And I really do hope. I'm crossing my fingers right now. I'm really praying Cody Rhodes wins Money in the Bank, and Cody Rhodes inevitably takes the championship from Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. That's what I'm looking for. I got a report regarding the location of the 2024 Royal Rumble match. Do you think Roman is dropping it at SummerSlam to Cody? I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Royal Rumble 2024. Royal Rumble 2024. So, according to a report from WESH2, the Tourist Development Tax Sports Incentive Committee will request $850,000 for the Greater Orlando Sports Commission to bid on hosting the 2024 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Now, if the bid is successful, the event is proposed to be held at Camping World Stadium on Saturday, January 27th, 2024. Now, if you're in Orlando, if you're in Florida, then you know what? Royal Rumble is going to be for you, and you're going to have a very fun time. But I'm going to be quite honest here. Unless we get a quality Royal Rumble, I couldn't give a shit where it's held. I really couldn't give a shit where it's held. You could hold it right here in the fucking Menin Arena in front of fucking 5 people. I don't give a shit. All I care about is that you give us a quality show. That's all we need. We need a quality wrestling show, because this year's Royal Rumble fucking sucked. This year's Royal Rumble was complete fucking dog shit. Dog shit right down to the very last letter. So I don't give a shit where you hold it. Just give me a good show. I got a report on Drew McIntyre. Now, Drew McIntyre, he's been in the news a lot as of lately. Got a lot of questions going around regarding Mr. Drew McIntyre and his status with the WWE. Now, I personally think he's staying, but the possibility of him leaving certainly is there. Wrestling Observer Radio, they reported that Drew McIntyre is working with the idea of finishing up with the WWE. He could very well do a program for the world title, considering he's on Raw. He's on Raw, and the World Championship is supposed to be exclusive to Raw, even though they got fucking SmackDown superstars competing for it. But regardless, world title is exclusive to Raw, and Drew McIntyre could absolutely do a program for it. But at the end of the day, he could end up leaving. He will be out of action for a few more weeks, says Meltzer. Nothing has changed regarding his contract situation. Now, I truthfully do believe that Drew McIntyre could end up leaving. I truthfully believe that he could end up leaving. But, you know what? At this rate, I'm not really going to get my hopes up too much. To be quite honest with you, it looks like they're just trying to work everything out. And if things work out correctly, if they put him in a title program, possibly have him win the World Championship, it will ultimately come down to if he's willing to take that offer. Is he willing to take an offer of less money but better creative? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's something that I'm going to keep an eye on. That's definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on. One thing is for sure. I'll tell you one thing that's a definite success and a definite positive. As of today, WrestleTix.com, who's actually very, very credible. They're very, very credible with what they do. They're reporting that AEW has sold 70,000 tickets for AEW All-In in Wembley Stadium. It is certainly going... What's this we got over here? Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me right now is the man that will challenge for the ISPW World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, this is Rick Recon, the man that Dave LaGreca was hyping up. How you doing today, Mr. Recon?
Fantastic, man. How about you, man?
I am doing fantastic. I've been here since 9:30 a.m. this morning. It is absolutely nuts. But, Mr. Rick Recon, you got yourself one hell of a match tonight. It is for the ISPW World Heavyweight Championship. You and Bull James, with Dave LaGreca and Maven handcuffed to each other. Ace Darling is the special guest referee. What are your thoughts going into this match?
This is top level stuff right now, man. I mean, Bull James is seemingly unbeatable. But here's the thing: is if it wasn't for some technicalities or for some referee reversals, he wouldn't be champion. I'd be facing against Tommy Dreamer or even Hale Collins for the heavyweight championship. So my thing is this: is he's bad, he's giant, he's who he is, but he can bleed. He's not invincible. He's not unbeatable, clearly. So I feel after the absolute wars I've been through with Crowbar over the last few months, I feel this is the time. This is the moment. I'm here to do this for real. I don't do this. This isn't a hobby. This isn't fun and games. This is like legit. We're doing this for real.
You know, speaking of your matches with Crowbar, you guys went to war 4 times, 2 of which were inside a steel cage. You tied the series at 2-2. I'm assuming that there's going to have to be a 5th match somewhere down the line, but I want to ask you, what do those matches really mean to you?
Well, I mean, those matches they brought me up such levels in such a short amount of time. I feel like I matured in terms of as far as a wrestler and a performer. Like within 4 months, the same amount that most guys would do in a year, maybe more. I did it in 4 months because it was just so much and so intense all at once. And to do it against a guy like Crowbar, a guy that I've looked up to for years, since I was a kid. I mean, that's one of my heroes, man. So not only is it rare that you get to be across from one of your heroes in the ring, you actually get to, work with them, but to do it 4 times, pretty much 4 times in a row, and it just each one gets more and more intense. Like that doesn't happen. That's unheard of. So I'm very blessed that I was able to have that and prepare me for tonight.
Now, I actually want to talk about Bull James for a little bit. This is not the first time that you and Bull James have fought. This was actually a rematch from what we saw last August. It was August 19th. I was there, front row. ISPW Summertime Blues. You guys kicked off the show. It was for the ISPW Tri-State Championship, and Bull James dispatched of you in less than 5 minutes. Now, my question here is, what is the difference between Rick Recon then and Rick Recon now? Why is this time going to be different?
Because that Rick Recon was a boy. I'm the man now. I'm the man around here, and he knows it. And he may not sell it. He may not show it, but inside he knows, and he's been paying close attention to me. Why do you think after the first cage match with Crowbar, he decides to come in and pick the bones afterwards? Like, you don't do that unless your opponent that you have coming up is a threat. If I wasn't a threat, if you weren't worried, why would you bother? You just sit back in the locker room and do what you got to do, get paid and go home. You wouldn't assault me afterwards. And I get it. I've done stuff like that before. I get it. So maybe that was a little bit of karma. I'll grant you that. But that's not the way it's going to be, man. He's going to get his. He's getting his tonight for what he did. And I'm taking his championship.
I am extremely looking forward to it, man. But my last question here, because I don't want to keep you too much. I know you got a big night ahead of you. Quite frankly, simple, straight up, what can we expect from Rick Recon in the near future?
ISPW World Heavyweight Champion. That's what you can look forward to.
I am beyond excited. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Recon, thank you very much. Give him hell. Give him hell. Surprises keep on coming, man. Surprises keep on coming. But back to what I was saying before we get into some of the weekly show reviews for a little bit. AEW All In Wembley Stadium, they sold 70,000 tickets. 70,000 tickets as of today. And what other excuses are these fucking morons, these retards going to bring on in? What other excuses are people going to say regarding AEW All In? People are trying to make up these lame-ass excuses. Oh, yeah, Tony Khan is just bullshitting. Yeah, he's just boosting up the numbers just so more people would buy. Oh, yeah, they overestimated the power of ISPW. See, these people legitimately have the brain capacity of a fucking cricket. They have absolutely no intelligence whatsoever. Where's Jay Leto? I'm asking the same thing. Where is Jay Leto? I don't fucking know. Go fucking ask him. Jay, where are you? He's down in Toms River, New Jersey. He actually, it takes him a while to get on up here. Anyway, AEW All In, massive success. And just like I predicted earlier, I guarantee you that they're selling out. AEW All In Wembley Stadium, they will sell out. They will indeed sell out. And yes, they did get 50,000 plus for the pre-sale. They did. Cannot be any more happier. And at the end of the day, everyone should be in support of this. Everyone should be in support of this because this shows you that professional wrestling and the love for it, the passion for it, it's alive and well. It's alive and well, and everyone should be in support of AEW All In getting such great numbers. It's going to sell out. If you don't believe it then, you're going to fucking believe it when you see it. And my final report before we get into some of the weekly show reviews, we're going to spend another hour live, and then we're going to get on out of here. Trinity Fatu, a.k.a. Naomi, she spoke about her WWE departure. She spoke on Busted Open Radio with Mr. Dave LaGreca, who was just on. If you missed it, you might want to go back and rewatch it because we had a lot of great guests on this show. So, Trinity Fatu, she spoke on Busted Open Radio regarding her WWE departure, and she opened up about everything that went on. So she confirmed that she was not happy. She was not happy, and she left because of the way that she was talked to on said day, which led it to be her breaking point. It was her lowest she has ever felt in her life with all the lies, the rumors swirling around, but she was very, very happy and thankful and in a much better place mentally and physically with Impact Wrestling. She opened up about wrestling with a shoulder injury for over a year. She said that she had never felt more welcomed in an Impact Wrestling locker room after feeling like never wrestling again at one point. Impact made her feel like part of their family. And you know something? Good on Trinity Fatu. Good on her. Good on her. She had to deal with so much bullshit. She worked her ass off wrestling with a shoulder injury for a year, and they gave her nothing. They gave her nothing but a fucking worthless tag team title victory with Mercedes that ultimately amounted to nothing and pretty much invalidated all of their hard work when Sasha could have easily gone on to fight Charlotte. And if it wasn't going to be Sasha, it could have easily had been Naomi. Could have easily been Naomi, and they decided not to do that. Absolutely fucking pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. But regardless, I'm very, very happy for Trinity. Very, very happy for Trinity. And I cannot wait to see what she does with Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling, let me tell you something. They have a great women's division. And with the women's division over there being as good as it is, Trinity is only going to add to that. And I don't think she's going to stay in Impact for very long. I actually do believe that Trinity ultimately will end up in the hands of Tony Khan, whether it be Ring of Honor or whether it be AEW. Those are your news, rumors, and reports for the day. We are coming up on 55 minutes live. Once again, we are live from the Men in Arena here on YouTube.com on May 6th. 80s WrestleCon. We're rocking and rolling. We're just 2 hours away from the big 80s WrestleCon rockin' wrestling show. It is going to be fucking fantastic. Bull James, Rick Recon for the world title. Crowbar versus the British Bulldog Jr. They now are defending the tag team titles against the Powers of Pain and the Headbangers. We got Val Venus versus Danny Morrison and plenty more. You are not gonna want to miss a single moment of this. Once again, thank you all for stopping by. Thank you to Dylan. Thank you to Lisa. Thank you to Hoolagrim. Thank you to everyone. You guys have been awesome. Now, we're going to get into the Monday Night Raw review. And Monday Night Raw, just like this WWE draft, a complete disappointment. A disappointment right down to the very last letter. Triple H kicked off the show. He reminded everyone that we'll crown a new World Heavyweight Champion, which, by the way, This new World Heavyweight Championship, it's being crowned using two triple threat matches. Two triple threat matches from Raw, two triple threat matches from SmackDown. The winners of those two matches will face each other on the fucking show. And then the winners of those two matches, one from Raw, one from SmackDown, they will fight each other at Night of Champions. So you got SmackDown superstars competing for a fucking Monday Night Raw championship. I mean, if that does not speak to you as fucking stupid, if that doesn't speak to you as ridiculous, I really don't know what does. I don't. So with the draft picks, Raw selected Rhea Ripley, SmackDown selected Austin Theory, Raw selected Seth Rollins, SmackDown selected Charlotte Flair. Pretty easy to figure out why they picked those individuals. Pretty easy to figure out. Now, I'm really, really hoping. Now, I won't be tweeting live for Backlash tonight. But I genuinely fucking hope that Io Sky beats Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. I really do. Because Bianca Belair, as much as I love her, she has done all that she could possibly do with the Raw Women's Championship, and her reign has honestly gotten stale. It really has. So if you want to have Io Sky beat her, and then you can trade Rhea Ripley and Io Sky back to their respective brands, Io Sky clearly does not need Damage Control. And Rhea, listen, as good as she is and as great as the Judgment Day has been, with Rhea in there, does Rhea need the Judgment Day? No. No, she doesn't. So Paul Heyman came out in the ring. Everyone was reveling in his wisdom, reveling in the wisdom of the wise man. So they talked about the Usos. The Usos did not win back the titles from Owens and Zayn. They will handle their problems on Saturday. 1 week from this Friday, however, whatever city it's in, as long as it's not in the state of Texas, crowd booed, Roman Reigns will return, and he will not be here on Monday Night Raw. All the children in the locker room flapping their gums about the tribal chief. Men were jokes. And everyone in the back pretty much he called jokes and clowns. You're all jokes. All those people in the back, they're jokers. Nothing more than clowns. All of a sudden, speaking of Joker, Seth Rollins with his Joker-esque character came out, and Rollins laughed in Heyman's face. He goes, I am still on my show. Roman Reigns is on SmackDown. This is Monday Night Rollins. You don't have to waste your energy on me. You might want to waste your time on making sure the bloodline won't go poof. He goes, I'm going to win that world championship, and then the world will see what a real champion looked like. Heyman tried to call Roman Reigns. The crowd was singing Rollins' theme song. Heyman goes, I can't hear my tribal chief, which I thought was fantastic. So Rollins asked how long it would take to stop Paul Heyman. Solo came out. Heyman stopped him. And he goes, all strings are being pulled right now to get Seth Rollins and Solo Sikoa in a match. Rollins accepted. And that was pretty much that. So this was a great opening segment, which led to the main event. And to be quite honest with you, this was probably the most intriguing thing on the show. Lo and behold, it's Seth fucking Rollins. Damage Control took on Rhea Ripley. Not Rhea Ripley. I'm still thinking about fucking Rhea Ripley. Damage Control took on Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. So Bayley was in control. She tried to wear down Liv Morgan. Liv was isolated. Coming back from commercial, Liv Morgan with a tag to Raquel. She lit up Dakota Kai with a fake out lariat, fallaway slam, and a splash to Bayley. Spinning Vader bomb for a 2. Bayley took out Raquel. Dakota Kai hit the chiropractor on Liv Morgan, and Raquel was able to save it. We had a code breaker by Liv, and Oblivion was hit on Kai, but Bayley was the legal woman, and Bayley pinned the tag team champions, rolled them up. Why did this happen? To set up a tag team title match, because there are legitimately no other tag teams for the Damage Control women to beat, so they need to have them go and beat the fucking champions in order to actually earn a tag team title opportunity. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking stupid. So we got that match actually happening next Friday on SmackDown. Now, the women's tag team titles, they can float. They can float. Now, with the women's tag team championships floating, I genuinely fucking hope that we will indeed see Alba Fire and Isla Dawn fight Liv and Raquel, and that will be a unification match, and then they will inevitably eradicate the women's tag team titles. Booker T and Sharmell, they came out to announce the next draft picks. Raw selected Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They will be exclusive to Raw. SmackDown selected the Usos. Raw selected the Judgment Day, and SmackDown selected the Latino World Order. Largely the same. Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus the Alpha Academy. This legit went 3 minutes. Strowman is greatly improved, I will say. Strowman has very much improved leaps and bounds. Really. He does a lot more than what he used to do. So I will give him credit there. He's doing different moves. He's doing splashes, and he's doing fucking running sentons and power bombs, and he did a diving crossbody on Otis. So shout out to Braun Strowman for improving. I greatly appreciate that. Braun Strowman and Ricochet win within 3 minutes? I don't give a shit. We had a segment with Brock Lesnar. He interrupted the draft picks. Brock Lesnar interrupted the draft picks with Adam Pearce and Shawn Michaels. I got fans everywhere. Shout out to the fan that just said DJ Storms. He's fucking awesome. I'm a celebrity over here. I'm a fucking celebrity over here. Anyway. So Brock Lesnar came out. Adam Pearce was trying to talk down to him, trying to talk some sense into him. Obviously, that shit didn't work. That shit didn't work at all. So he goes, Fort Worth, Texas, how does it feel to be looking at the only real cowboy in the state? All of a sudden, Adam Pearce got security, and they were trying to keep Brock Lesnar at bay. All of a sudden, Cody Rhodes, his theme music hits. Cody Rhodes comes up from behind Brock Lesnar, knocks him in the nose, actually busted him open a little bit, and the security separated them. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys are aware, but we've still gotten zero explanation as to why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody Rhodes. Man, that's such riveting storytelling right there. Such great storytelling, man. I cannot wait for this match. The story is so compelling, right? Fuck out of here. Next round of the draft, Raw selected Liv Morgan and Raquel. SmackDown selected Asuka. Raw selected The New Day. SmackDown selected the Brawling Brutes. So we have no Sheamus and Gunther feud. A little disappointing, but here's what I will say. I actually do believe that with Sheamus not being on the same brand as Gunther, they have every intention of building up new stars to hold the mid-card titles. And I mentioned this on the rundown for Backlash. I do believe that we will indeed see Bronson Reed as the man to take the title off of Gunther, and the megastar, LA Knight, is going to be the man to win the United States Championship, probably from an Austin Theory. I mean, if they want to make LA Knight a babyface, LA Knight can do both. He can do both. He's very versatile. Matt Riddle versus Jimmy Uso, another nothing match. Matt Riddle wins thanks to Sami and KO cheating. Yes, I realize turnabout is fair play. Turnabout's fair play there. Eric Bischoff and Rob Van Dam. Looks like Eazy-E finally got that Monday Night Raw appearance that he's been sucking a lot of dick for. So, Monday Night Raw selected Trish Stratus, a complete waste of a draft pick. Round 4, SmackDown selected Karrion Kross, which I don't like at all. And we're going to rant a little bit about Karrion Kross a little bit later. Raw selected Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, another waste of a draft pick. And then SmackDown selected the megastar, LA Knight. So SmackDown actually made out pretty well. SmackDown's actually got a lot of fucking star power. Miz TV with Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know why, but I actually found this a little funny. And I found this a little funny because Miz TV had Shinsuke Nakamura. Miz was trying to goad Shinsuke Nakamura into teaming up with him. Goading him into teaming up with them and forming a unit. So Shinsuke said, you know, Miz, you are the man with Shinsei Kintama. Shinsei Kintama. Now, nobody knew what that meant. It was Japanese for something. So they got the crowd to chant Shinsei Kintama. They were chanting Shinsei Kintama. So Miz goes, well, what does that mean? Nakamura, now, I don't know what it was, but Nakamura, the way that he just said this, the way that he just fucking said this, just made it that much more funny. Nakamura goes, it means the man with tiny balls. Now, I'm not sure what it was, but I laughed. And one thing is for sure, the one positive thing that came out of this segment, it was a waste of a fucking segment, but the best thing that came out of this segment was the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura was allowed to be funny. If they allow Shinsuke Nakamura to just go out there and just be himself, he's going to get over. They just allow him to be funny. He's going to get over, no problem. Nakamura is fucking funny. Let him be himself. Simple. Omos versus Anthony Alanis, double choke bomb in 45 seconds for the win. Can we draft Omos to the unemployment line? Trust me, that would be the best fucking place for Omos. I got to deal with this. This guy's a fucking free agent, by the way, so he can appear on both Raw and SmackDown. So I got to deal with I got to deal with him every single week, whether it be on Raw or SmackDown. God help us all. We had the D-O-double-G, Road Dogg, fucking idiot Road Dogg, and Molly Holly. They announced round 5. Raw selected Braun Strowman and Ricochet. I can absolutely see them in the World Championship title picture. SmackDown got Shotzi. Raw got Bronson Reed. And SmackDown, we actually got some change on SmackDown. We got Pretty Deadly. So, I do think that Pretty Deadly does have the potential to be something on the main roster. I really do. Pretty Deadly has the potential to be something on the main roster if they allow them to do what they do and let them wrestle. We need to tone down the over-accentuation with Pretty Deadly, and we just need them to go in there and show us why they are very good wrestlers. I'm not sure if you guys realize this, but Pretty Deadly had, in my eyes, the best NXT UK Tag Team title reign of all time. They were putting on bangers, and I mean bangers. Absolute fucking bangers. So if they allow them to do that, then you know what? They'll be just fine on the main roster. They'll be just fine. Judgment Day. They came out to address the crowd. Judgment Day came out to address the crowd, and Priest said, all rise. I love the way that Priest just goes, all rise. I love that shit. All rise for the Judgment Day. He goes, all rise for tonight's first round draft pick, Rhea Ripley. Rhea said, we run Monday Night Raw, and Zelina Vega will regret everything that she has done to me. I will remind everyone why I am the most dominant champion in WWE. And Priest spoke in Spanish a little bit, and he ended with, at Backlash, Bad Bunny, Benito, you will receive your punishment. So Dom took the mic, and the crowd, this was music to my ears. The crowd just absolutely fucking unloaded with boos on Dominic. He couldn't even get a fucking word out. Absolutely fucking amazing. The fact that Dom has been able to maintain this level of heat following WrestleMania, that shit right there is just a testament to how good Dom is and how he's just become so comfortable. He's just grown into his role. Love it. Love it. So we got ourselves a 6-person mixed tag team match. 6-person mixed tag team match. It was Judgment Day and the LWO. Once again, how many fucking combinations have we seen of this? So Dom and Ray, they mixed it up for a little bit. Zelina took out Rhea. Drop kick by Dom. Priest was in position. Dom then tripped up Ray as Ray went for the 619. Suicide dive by Santos onto Dom. Zelina Vega with a meteor to Rhea. Ray with a 619 to Finn. Finn was able to take the 619. Finn took the bullet. For the Judgment Day. And then Priest with the South of Heaven for the win. Fun little match right here. Really nothing all too special, but it was a fun little match for what it was. Ultimately meant nothing because how many fucking combinations have we seen of this shit? JBL and Teddy Long, they came out for the 6th draft pick round. Raw selected the Alpha Academy. So Raw, they actually made out pretty decently in terms of the tag team division. They got Strowman and Ricochet. They got Sammy and KO. They got the Alpha Academy, Strowman and Ricochet. They got, who else did they got? They got the Viking Raiders as well. They got the Viking Raiders. They got Imperium. They got the Judgment Day. So they got a decent amount of tag teams. They made out pretty decently. SmackDown, they got Rick Boogs. Raw got Katana Chance and Caden Carter, which I'm very much excited about. And SmackDown got Cameron Grimes. Look at this. Hang on a minute. We're not done with the surprises, people. Look at this. We got ourselves the superstar, Mr. Danny Morrison. Danny Morrison. How are you doing today? It is 80s WrestleCon, the Rockin' Wrestling Show, and you are going one-on-one with Val Venus, top star of the Attitude Era. How you feeling tonight?
I feel pretty good. It's the the Big Valboski versus the Danaconda, and I'm here to prove that my wrestling penis is the most over wrestling penis in the history of wrestling penises.
It's going to be one hell of a match, that's for sure.
Interview me. What do you think was going to happen?
I should have expected it. But one thing I got to ask you about, you have been doing this quite some time, 25, 30 years now, and you have been running strong still. You're actually coming back from an injury. You actually just made your in-ring return against main event Michael Mars back at the Steel Cage TLC ISPW event last Friday on April 28th. How you feeling after 6 months away?
I felt pretty good after the match. I felt a lot looser. I got a little tightness still. It's going to take me a little while to get in the flow. So, I mean, it's a gradual thing. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. So, but I need the ring work is the only really way to get back in the ring shape. So you do all the gym stuff, all the cardio stuff, all the stretching, but being in the ring is a completely different animal. So I need to work back to where I was. It's still going to take some time, but I'm going to win every match on my way back there.
That is certainly the way to go. Now, I need to ask you regarding your career. You've certainly had one hell of a career, especially being one half of the last ECW World Tag Team Champions. I want to ask you, what did that mean to you, and what did ECW mean to you as a whole?
Well, ECW is everything. So, I mean, I'm part of 3 letters that revolutionized and changed the business, and I'll always be linked to that. So I'll always be grateful for that. Without that, I don't know that I would have done anything in wrestling, as I started in ECW. I didn't go to an independent school. I didn't go to a local school. I went through ECW's training camp. So had I not done that, I don't know how much longer I would have tried to pursue the wrestling business, because it's a difficult thing to do. I chose the hardest path at the time for me because I wanted it to be hard. But I don't know that I would have appreciated the journey had I not gone the path I went. So those 3 letters mean everything to me. Historically, I'll always be linked to that, and I'll always be eternally grateful for that.
Now, one thing I'm sure that you have your eyes on right now is the main event tonight. It's for the World Championship. It's a man that you have a great history with, Rick Recon, who did beat you to become the king of ISPW back in September. And then, of course, you got Bull James, a man that you have been at odds with for over a year now, dating back to the fall and winter of 2021. You actually took the world title from him. And then when you went down with injury, he slid in and he won the world championship from the man that took it off of you, Justin Carino. Since then, he is now aligned with your former manager, that is Tough Enough winner Maven. And you and Bull James, you actually have a big match coming up next week. Is that correct?
I don't look any further than today, but I'll tell you this. I'm a stat guy. I'm an historian guy. When this ISPW incarnation started some time ago, I was the king of this jungle. I was the king of this jungle the whole time. I've beaten Recon. I've beaten Bull James. I've never lost to Bull James. Matter of fact, my tear is legendary. Tommy Dreamer. We can go on. Scotty Tuhati. Although, and I will also add to this, the guy that's killing everybody in this federation right now, Crowbar, defeated him soundly. So, I mean, when I get back on top, that's all there is to it. Everybody else can claim to be the man, but factually, statually, I am the man. I am the king of this jungle. I am the lion. And remember one thing, everybody in ISPW, I don't care if you're on the bottom of the card, if you're in the women's division, I don't care. I'm the lion. And when the lion's hungry, he eats.
All right, one last question before we get out of here. What can we expect from Danny Morrison in the near future?
I'm just going to take it easy. I'm going to take it one match at a time, one day at a time, one training session at a time. And I'm looking to go back to where I was, and that's on top of this jungle. And I'm not going to stop till I get there, baby.
I cannot wait to see what you do in the near future, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the superstar, Danny Morrison, thank you very much for your time. I greatly appreciate it. Good luck in your match against Val Venus. We got plenty of good material coming tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to everyone that has stopped on by. Thank you to Danny Morrison. Thank you to Rick Recon. Thank you to Crowbar. Thank you to Ace Darling and Dave LaGreca. We have had one hell of a stream here. Probably the biggest LFU thus far. But after the draft picks for the night, after the final round of draft picks, we got into our main event, which was Seth Rollins and Solo Sikoa. This match, how do you think this match ended? I'll give you one guess. DQ. Match ended with a fucking DQ. And they actually ran overtime, and they ran a little overtime because apparently the promo with the Judgment Day went a little too long, and the crowd's booing of Dominic actually extended that specific segment a lot longer than it should have been. So, hey, I guess that speaks to a testament of how good Dominic Mysterio really draws heat. But this ended in a DQ. The Usos came out, caused the DQ. Rollins was at the mercy of the Usos before Sammy, Owens, and Riddle came out, and the show just cut off after utter fucking chaos. So that was Monday Night Raw, a complete waste of time. I did not give a shit, and to be quite honest with you, I am not looking forward to what we are going to see following the WWE draft and following Backlash tonight. If you guys have any predictions for Backlash, please let me know. Sound off in the chat right now. We got two more shows to review. I want to know. I really want to know how you guys feeling about Backlash, and who do you think is going to come out victorious? Let me know. I see Hologram, I see Sarah, I see Lisa, I see many other people. Come on. Okay. So AEW Dynamite. I don't know what happened this past Wednesday on Dynamite. I'm not sure what happened this past Wednesday. But I don't know what it is. It seems as though Tony Khan is running on autopilot. I don't know what it is. It seems as though they're not putting the best possible foot forward that they could have. And in all honesty, Double or Nothing, it's pretty much taken form, and I guess he feels like he doesn't have to do too much. He doesn't. But Double or Nothing is looking great. I will say that. Double or Nothing is looking fantastic. We got the Four Pillars Fatal 4-Way. We got the Elite versus the BCC. We got Swerve and Keith Lee. We got Jay White, Ricky Starks, Chris Jericho, and Adam Cole. It looks like now we have some actual progression with the Outsiders, the Outcasts, and the AEW Originals. Looks like we're going to get a 6-woman tag, which that's going to be great. We also got FTR versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. The Acclaimed is going to make a run at the House of Black, and that's going to be the Trios Championship match. And then we're probably going to get Jade versus Taya Valkyrie, and Taya Valkyrie's going to win. So, listen, Double or Nothing's looking fantastic. But I don't know what it is. It seems as though after WrestleMania, just the whole landscape of professional wrestling has died. And it really sucks because Dynamite started off so well. They had a great streak of shows going into Revolution and a nice solid month of shows coming out of Revolution. But it seems as though ever since WrestleMania ended, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, Rampage, it seems as though every single wrestling show across the industry after WrestleMania ended, every show just lost steam. Every show just lost momentum. There's like no heat. There's no heat whatsoever. So now that doesn't mean that the show was terrible. Dynamite wasn't terrible. Wasn't terrible at all. I know what a terrible show is. The show was a hell of a lot better than Raw. That much I will say. That much I will say. But coming out of WrestleMania, it's just like every single show just fell flat. We did get some decent stuff on the show, I will say. We did get some decent stuff on the show. We had Orange Cassidy, Bandito, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole versus the JAS. This was a super fun tag team match. And let me tell you one thing. One thing I will say, Roderick Strong looks fucking fantastic. Roderick Strong looks like he's got a new fucking lease on life, and I cannot wait to see what Roderick Strong does. So, Adam Cole ended up winning this match. Fun match with the boom on Danny Garcia. Afterwards, Adam Cole, he just did a full-on sprint up the ramp. He tackled Chris Jericho, who was on commentary, tackled Chris Jericho, and tackled him behind the curtain. That was awesome. That was great. And you know what? I'm actually even more excited now to see the match between Chris Jericho and Adam Cole at Double or Nothing than I was before. So you know what? Props to them. Jericho and Adam Cole, they have done a great job building this storyline. And it hasn't really been building for that long, but they did a very good job. So we had the BCC, Blackpool Combat Club. They cut a promo, and they were talking about how they want to push people to be better. They want to push people to be better and how they want to build a better generation, build the next generation better than they are. Moxley hyped up his cage match with Omega. Great stuff as usual. And I am very much looking forward to next week's. Next week's Dynamite looks big. Next week's Dynamite is fucking big. I believe we got 2 title matches. We got an AEW International title match. It's Cassidy and Garcia. We also have the House of Black versus Bandito and the Best Friends. So, you know, we got a lot of decent stuff. I will say that. We got a lot of decent stuff on next week's Dynamite. I'd like to hope that they get themselves back on the right track. Saraya, she took on Willow Nightingale. Really nothing too crazy. Saraya and Willow Nightingale, nice little 7-minute match. Really didn't do too much of anything. The main thing is what happened after the match. Because after the match, the Outcast attacked Willow Nightingale. All of a sudden, Hikaru Shida returned. She stood face to face with the Outcast, and she actually did a punk fake. She hugged the Outcast, and she acted like she was all cool. All of a sudden, she went to spray paint. I believe it was Willow Nightingale. She went to spray paint the L on Willow Nightingale. All of a sudden, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter came up from behind her. She spray painted Saraya in the eyes, and then she wrote AEW on the Outcasts, which I thought was great. So you know what? Finally, after all this time, I'm not really sure where the fuck Shida was, but we finally got some legit progression. And you know what? I am happy about that. I'm very happy about that. So you know what? I'm very happy with what we got at the end of that match, and we should get a nice little decent 6-woman tag. If anything, I would even take it a step further. Now that Britt and Hayter, now that they've got Sheeta, now let's get Athena on Dynamite. Let's get Athena in there, and let's have Athena join Ruby, Tony, and Saraya. And then let's get Thunder Rosa to join the AEW Originals. That's what we need. That could easily be a blood and guts match. Moving on here, we had the Tres de Mayo Battle Royal. Pretty much nothing special here. It's a typical run-of-the-mill standard Battle Royal. Nothing over the top, nothing crazy. We did get the right outcome, which was the Acclaimed winning. And like I said before, this all but confirms that the Acclaimed will be the House of Black's opponents at Double or Nothing, which I have no problem with. The Acclaimed are still mega over as babyfaces. And if you want to get the House of Black even more over as heels, simply you need time. It was go. There we go. We're back finally. I don't know what's going on. Now the tech issues want to start happening. Yeah, I know. Now the tech issues want to start happening. Now we got it. Back to what I was saying. Oh yeah, here we go. We were talking about Claimed in House of Black before we froze up a bit. I apologize. Claimed in House of Black seems as though all but confirmed for Double or Nothing. And to be quite honest with you, it makes the most sense. It makes the most sense because at the end of the day, if you want to get the House of Black over as mega baby faces, then you put them against someone like the Acclaimed. Plain and simple. Wardlow took on some jobber, very quick fashion, and then he called out Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. And Christian Cage said that he will be the one that is going to be receiving the TNT Championship match. Not really sure how I feel about that, but look, if it results in Wardlow retaining the championship and Wardlow is inevitably the guy to hold that championship going into the future, I don't really have an issue with it, but it doesn't really seem all too spectacular. Ricky Starks took on Juice Robinson. This was a very good match. Juice took it to Starks pretty early. This was actually the one match in AEW where I really felt as though Juice Robinson really stood out. So we had a nice diving back body drop by Starks. Tornado DDT. Juice landed hard on his head. We had a Northern Lights bomb. Splash, but Juice got the knees up. Cannonball by Juice in the corner. Then all of a sudden we had a Hurricane Rana by Juice and a Lariat for a 2. Starks hit the spear and then powered Juice up for the Rochambeau to win the match. Afterwards, Jay White attacked and Starks went for the Rochambeau, but Juice ended up saving him. You know, I will bring up one thing. El Phantasmo, his New Japan Pro Wrestling contract supposedly expired. And if that supposedly expired, then I do believe that if Tony Khan wants to, they're trying to build Bullet Club Gold. They could easily bring in El Phantasmo. And then Ricky Starks can recruit another guy because we got Sean Spears and we got Ricky Starks on one side. If El Phantasmo joins, then we're going to need a third guy. Who? I don't know. Maybe a Lance Archer, but I don't really see Lance Archer being a guy that's going to tag team, you know? Next week, like I said, we got Orange Cassidy versus Daniel Garcia, AEW Internet. So, in the main event, we got ourselves Jungle Boy and Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara and MJF. This was a great match, as you would expect. Great match, as you would expect from them. Nothing really too crazy until it came to the end. We had a nice back and forth between all four men. MJF ended up slapping the ever-living shit out of Sammy Guevara. Shout out to Didi, who's in the chat. Sammy then hit a knee on MJF. So they were having some miscommunications. Afterwards, Sammy with a super kick to MJF. Super kick to Sammy, tag to Darby. Coffin drop by Darby. Jungle Boy just moved out of the way. And in the end, we had ourselves Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara getting the victory. And they will move on to Double or Nothing. And that was AEW Dynamite. Really nothing all too crazy. Really nothing over the top. But that was Dynamite. I would really like to hope that they really start picking up the pace going into Double or Nothing because, again, ever since coming out of WrestleMania, Dynamite just really has not felt the way it needs to feel. It's felt very blah. It's felt very, very, very lackluster. And I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I think we got one more surprise before we get on out of here.
I'm not a surprise.
No, he's not a surprise. He's a full-time ISPW talent right here.
I am not a surprise. I am the show. I am the reason each and every one. Like, listen, okay, yeah, Bret Hart's here, but that's not a bad second place. But what everyone failed to realize is this long line that strings around the building, out the doors, down the parking lot, through the KFC parking lot, over to TGI Fridays and Bennigan's. That line started with me last night. I signed all these damn autographs just to bring Bret in. And you're welcome. Each and every one of you, you're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is Tough Enough Champion. He is Maven. Maven, we have the biggest event in the state of New Jersey right now, ISPW Rock and Wrestling here during the 80s WrestleCon weekend. How you feeling?
With all due respect, biggest event for you, biggest event for Tommy Fiera, biggest event for Bret, biggest event for everyone, not biggest event for myself and Bull James. You want to know what this is for myself and Bull?
Tell me.
Saturday. It's another night. It's Saturday. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what the date is. I don't even know what month we're in right now. It's just another day at the office. When I go into my office in the city and someone needs a loan, I don't clap my hands and say, this is the biggest loan I'm ever going to do. Although they might be thinking it's just a Tuesday. Nothing different with here. Other than the only thing that's different is we might be in a little bit of a dumpier building than we're normally in. I mean, most buildings stink. This one has a nice aroma of just trash for whatever reason. It might be all these idiots I'm looking at. Yeah, you're definitely an idiot. Yeah.
Makes sense. But you mentioned Bull James. I actually want
to. You have notes?
I do. These are my.
You write your dissertation here?
No, these are notes for SmackDown, Dynamite, Raw, and all sorts of wrestling rumors.
Let's read some of these. Don't scratch butt on air live. That's actually I'm with you on that one. Don't pick nose live on air. These are all, hey, you know what? For your notes, these are actually good. Like, you do them all. Wear glasses while live on air. All right, check on that one. Hold on. Shave beard in a way that makes me look like a man, not a little boy. Done. Okay, hold up.
That was number one, actually.
That was fourth. Yeah. Work on counting 1 through 10. That's why you got that mixed up, because you don't even know how to count yet. What's your next question? I don't even want to know where you jam this thing. Look at this microphone. Like, where do you buy something like this? Where do you even get a big, and it's heavy. My God. All right, go continue.
Regarding the main event tonight, your client, Bull James, he's defending the ISPW.
Are we in the main event?
Yes.
Damn it. That just means I'm going to be here longer.
Yes.
I wish we were first so we could get our business done, get the hell out of here. I'd like to get home, maybe watch some basketball. Hell, I'd rather watch Gilmore Girls than watch all these other idiots wrestle.
Well, regarding the main event, Bull James, he is going to be defending the world championship against Rick Recon. What are your thoughts going into this match, seeing that you are going to be handcuffed to Dave LaGreca?
Against who?
Rick Recon.
Who the hell is that?
He was just on the show. He's the king of rock.
Wait a minute. I grew up in a time when you had, Poison, Metallica. Those are the king of rock. You're saying, Rick, is his name Rick?
Rick Recon.
Rick Recon. You're saying he's the king of rock? Let me guess.
Yes.
Let me guess. Self-proclaimed. Just like I guess you're the self-proclaimed woman slayer. Same.
I've been called that, yes.
Same difference. You left with a empty wallet if you were called that. I guarantee it. You didn't have $1 left of your name if girls were calling you that. But anyway, what are my thoughts on that match? Can't wait till it's over. Can't wait till I'm in the parking lot, hardly breaking a sweat. Can't wait till Rick Recon is checked off of the list of guys to just to do away with.
Well, regarding Bull James,
Hold on, I got something in mind. All right, it's gone.
Okay, good. Regarding Bull James actually has a busy week.
Speak with reverence regarding the champion, Bull James.
Regarding the ISPW World Heavyweight Champion, Bull James, he actually has a big week ahead of him because regardless of whether he wins or he loses, he is going to be going up against Danny Morrison, a man that he has a rich history with next week. What are your thoughts on that?
Danny Street Clothes Morrison. Danny can't get out of the tub, Morrison. Danny, I'm injured every other match I do, Morrison. That's the guy we're going to worry about?
Yes.
Next question.
Well, regarding Bull James, my last question, what can we expect from Bull James in the near future, seeing as he is approaching 200 days as world champion, and should he make it past today, he's itching closer and closer to that milestone.
One word, intensity.
Well, that is certainly one thing that can describe Bull James right down to a T. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, Tough Enough champion, Maven, manager and advocate to Bull James. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Maven.
Yeah. Forgive me if I don't shake hands.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, plenty of good stuff to come. And Maven gave you a little taste. See, he's a nice guy. He told me thank you behind the camera.
I did not.
He wants to tell you. He wants to tell you that he didn't, but he did. Maven giving everybody a little taste as to what I write in my notes. But regardless, we're gonna get out of here in about 15 more minutes. We're gonna go over SmackDown, and then we're getting on out of here. SmackDown, I will say, was incredibly effective. SmackDown was high energy from the word go. Really, really, really good stuff. And yes, indeed, I am the woman slayer. Ask Dee. Rey Mysterio, he kicked off the show. The LWO followed. Crowd was hyped. They were live from San Juan, Puerto Rico, and we actually got a condensed stage. We got a rather condensed stage. So I was actually pretty happy about that. I see fans left and right. Unbelievable. The crowd was hyped for Zelina. All of a sudden, the Judgment Day came out, raining down boos on them. WrestleMania rematch was thrown down as a challenge for Rey Mysterio to Dom. Ripley then challenged Rey. Dom then proposed a mixed tag team match. So we got a mixed tag team match in the main event. I actually had no issue with that. So hot start to SmackDown. Crowd hyped as all hell. The OC, they took on the Viking Raiders after this segment. Viking Raiders were in early control. Coming back from commercial, we had a tag to Luke Gallows. He lit up Eric. Nice body splash in the corner and a shoulder tackle. Tag to Ivar. Double choke bomb for a 2. Power bomb by Eric. Tag to Ivar. Big splash by Ivar. Anderson saved the match. Yim then took out Valhalla. Anderson then took out Eric with a flying uppercut. And then we had a magic killer to Ivar for the win. That was it. Fun little match. And the OC, they looked rejuvenated. So if they really, really want to, they could indeed make the OC viable challengers for a potential tag team title match down the line. So very much looking forward to what we see in the future for the OC. Bianca Belair then showed up on SmackDown before the draft gets put into play. Belair hyped up being back on SmackDown and being in Puerto Rico. She talked about her title defense against Io Sky and how she's beaten the best of the best. I'm always going to show up and show out, said Bianca. She touted about being on the verge of history. Damage Control then came out. Bayley said she made Bianca on SmackDown, and she should be focusing on Io because Io's going to end her reign, and then SmackDown and that idiot Michael Cole, said Bayley, will belong to them. So SmackDown was then subjected to seeing Bayley and Damage Control beat the shit out of Bianca Belair. Liv Morgan and Raquel came out to help. The babyfaces stood tall, and if the babyfaces stood tall, one thing I really do hope is that Io Sky will indeed be the one to take down Bianca, because you could just feel that it's time. You could feel it's time. You could feel that it has run its course. Bianca doesn't need history. Bianca Belair, with this title reign, has cemented her as a bona fide Hall of Famer. At such a young age, Bianca's already a made woman. Bianca is easily the biggest star to be made since the Four Horsewomen. So at the end of the day, we do not need Bianca Belair to hold the Raw Women's Championship past Backlash. And even if they do give it to her, I genuinely hope, I really do, genuinely hope that we will indeed get a trade. Even if they need to trade the Street Profits along with Bianca back to Monday Night Raw, that is the best way to do it. But I would give it to Io Sky, because Io Sky, she desperately, and I mean desperately, needs something of substance to rejuvenate her, because Damage Control, especially the booking of Damage Control, it has done absolutely nothing for her. Absolutely nothing. Street Profits versus Imperium. Street Profits versus Imperium. This match went 3 minutes. This match went 3 fucking minutes, and that was it. That was it. I really cannot fucking stand. I really cannot stand how Imperium are just flat out jobbers without Gunther. That right there is probably the second biggest miscarriage of justice, minus the fact that Damage Control has been booked like absolute shit. Why is it that Gunther is treated like a king and Imperium are treated like peasants? It's almost as if Vince McMahon went, Triple H, you can have Gunther all you want, but I'm booking the other two. It's ridiculous. Why is it that Imperium and the Street... And now, this is a completely different argument. Why is it that Imperium and the Street Profits are only going 3 minutes? A match between those two teams should be going no less than 10. Absolutely ridiculous. Street Profits win. Cody Rhodes, he took on a microphone, and he got the crowd hyped up. He addressed the crowd, and he came out with the crowd in Puerto Rico singing his theme song. And once again, I'm going to bring it to everyone's attention. Why didn't they give Cody Rhodes the World Championship? Why? Why is it that we're sitting here with the reactions that Cody is getting, and he's not the World Champion? Stupid. Fucking stupid. Anyway, so Cody asked, what would you like to talk about? Talked about Cowboy Coward Brock Lesnar. He says he is the gatekeeper. Lesnar is looming over the gate to the kingdom. You don't have to fight Brock Lesnar, but he went out and he picked a fight with me, and he has yet to explain why. I said that I was afraid of Brock Lesnar. Everyone should be. But tomorrow is Backlash, and I don't have any time to be afraid. This will be the place where I get back on the road to finishing the story, and I do it by beating Brock Lesnar. So Cody Rhodes still telling everyone, yeah, we don't know why Brock Lesnar attacked me. It is still unexplained, but I'm going to beat him anyway. Again, riveting storytelling. And Cody's a great promo. Don't get me wrong. Cody's a phenomenal promo. We got 2 more matches we're going to dissect before we get on out of here. And the match of the night, to me, a match that they could have easily put on Backlash because it was very good. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Karrion Kross. Now, I'm going to get the positive out of the way first. This was a very good match. We had Karrion Kross powerbombing Nakamura into the post. He was doing different things that we don't normally see Kross do. Nakamura mounted a comeback with some swift strikes and kicks. Knee to the gut for a 2. Karrion Kross then delivered a big exploder suplex. That got a 2. Nakamura with a cross arm breaker. Kross powered him up. Nakamura reversed the arm breaker, adjusted his position into a guillotine, which looked very, very nice. We had an enziguri and a German suplex by Nakamura. Big lariat by Kross, turning Nakamura inside out. That looked very, very nice. We had a Doomsday Saito by Kross. That got a 2. Nakamura then with an enziguri and a tornado kick. And then he delivered the Kinshasa, and he pinned Karrion Kross clean. Now, I love Nakamura. I really do. But if we're going to be quite honest here, Nakamura, honest to God, right now, he's a lost cause. And I don't mean that in a sense that he doesn't really have a place on WWE television and they should just give up on him. But Nakamura right now, where is he going? Nakamura right now has won championships. They've given him the ball to run with it, and they haven't really done anything of substance with Nakamura. Nakamura has essentially slotted into being the role of the the Japanese version of Dolph Ziggler. That's what Nakamura is. Is Nakamura going to be world champion? There we go. I think we're coming back. We're coming back right here. Yeah. I'm well aware. Hula Grim, I'm well aware. We're having some tech issues. Don't worry, we're about to wrap up. But like I was saying about Kross right now, the more and more we see Kross, he's essentially becoming the new version of the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. And that right there, that's just absolutely fucking pathetic. I don't understand how you could do that to a man like Kross. Kross has everything that you want in a superstar. Kross has everything that you need in a superstar. He's got the look. He's got the wrestling ability. He's got the promo. He's got the ambiance. He's got everything. He's got the entrance. Karrion Kross, his booking throughout 2023 has been fucking terrible. Ever since 2023 began, his booking has been complete horseshit. It's stupid. It's legitimately fucking stupid. Nakamura, as good as he is he going anywhere? No, he's not going to win the world title over on Raw. Why did Nakamura need to win this? This should have been a definitive victory for Karrion Kross to get him on the right track. And Karrion Kross, regardless of whether he's one of those guys that's not really going to go anywhere until Roman loses the championship, it is ridiculous that he's losing to Shinsuke Nakamura. How many big matches has Kross lost? He's legitimately Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt 2.0. Talks a big game, but he can never back it up. Terrible. Absolutely piss poor booking. And then finally, guys, the main event of SmackDown. Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega versus Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley. This was a fun match. And Rey Mysterio cradled Dominic in a small package for the win. That was that. Afterwards, the big thing happened. Priest and Balor came out, and it was a 3-on-1 assault before Bad Bunny led the charge. With the LWO, and we ended up getting Bad Bunny and Damian Priest in quite a very nice stare down. Really, really good stuff right there. What's going on, GKM? How you doing?
How we doing?
We doing all right. We live right now. You want?
Live.
Yeah, we're live right now. Holy shit.
I'll pop in.
We're live right now, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the ISPW Tri-State Champion, GKM. He's got a big title defense today against Homicide. GKM, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Excited for tonight. 80s Con, Rockin' Wrestling. This is going to be a great event. Got a big challenge tonight in Homicide for the Tri-State Championship. Obviously, I'm flying independent, and I plan on flying out and still your ISPW Tri-State Champion.
Now, let me ask you, you chased the Tri-State Championship for a total of 6 months, dating back to October of last year, after finally capturing the ISPW Tri-State title just 3 short weeks ago, back in West Milford at ISPW Rage in the Cage. What did that mean to you?
It meant everything. That was the greatest night of my career. You know, winning the Tri-State Championship after it kept slipping through my fingers, getting screwed over and over and over. But, you know, the fans, the Phoenix Legion, they were with me the entire way. To be able to have that moment with them, it meant everything.
Now, let me ask you this. I realize this may be a tough question, but you have been wrestling for only a short period of time. What was it, a little bit over 100 matches now?
Just over 100 matches. But I would say July would make 2 full years.
July is going to make 2 full years. Now, one thing that I have been incredibly impressed with is the fact that you've only been doing this for 2 full years, but you have just taken to this like a fish to water. It was almost like you've been meant to do this. Now, you have been involved in quite a lot of matches. Now, although it may not seem like a lot, but it is just over 100 matches. And I know it may be a little young in your career, but if you were faced with the choice of telling me what has been your best match to date thus far, what would it be?
My best match to date, my next one. And then the next one. And then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. This Phoenix is not stopping. So put anybody in front of me, they're going to feel that fire. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying right now. And let me tell you something. I cannot wait to see what you do in the future. But final question before I let you go, because I know you got a big night. You got a lot of preparation to do before the show. What can we expect from GKM in the near future?
Anything you can imagine. Anything you can imagine.
I'm telling you, man. I am so much looking forward to everything you got going on. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the ISPW Tri-State Champion, GKM, the Phoenix. And he is looking to make history today, next day, the next day, the next day. Plenty more historical moments to come. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. But ladies and gentlemen, I realize it's been a great day. It's been a great stream, but unfortunately we got to wrap it up because the show is going to start in an hour. So that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. Thank you to Lisa, Hoolagrim, Dylan, Didi. Thank you very much.
Dirty Dango, what's up?
Oh my God,
Yeah,
how you doing? How you doing, man?
$40, man. We live?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Venmo me.
Fandango right there. He's going to be taking on none other than Eugene, formerly known as Eric Bischoff's son. He's fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. But before we get out of here, one last universal question that everybody must answer, and I want everybody to say it. Who runs the IWC? Who runs it? I'll tell you who runs it. Who? But DJ motherfucking Storms. Don't you forget it.
Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.